What was I doing? Right. So let me remind myself. Where did it all begun? Right. It was 2 days ago. Prologue. Um, I comment BBB. That's right. The comments might be helpful. And then what was it? It was like, oh, there was no comment. Okay. And then it was no more internet derps. That's right, the internet derps. Windows, did I have Windows 10? Too many memories are flowing back. uh, shoot, did I have Windows 10 that long ago? Gosh, time just moves so fast these days. Also, hi everybody, Renegade68. Is this a video? I don't ever know anymore. It should be a video. Hi, did I introduce the video? I'm not sure if I did. Well, I introduced it now. Um, Gosh, I blame Windows 10. Did I have Windows 10 back in September of last year? Feels like I've had Windows 10 for like 3 months. Apparently, it's been like a year and 3 months. That feels wrong. Okay. Time just moves too fast. Freaking Danganronpa 3, I was talking about, like, apparently I started that, according to my save files, I started that in 2017. I could have swore I started it in 2019. Um, Anyways, good voice volume. I don't know why I called it that. That's right. This is Rin as she's saying, as she's waving off her papa who goes to the Fate Zero Grail War and dies. This is Rin's house. I got a wee wee. Okay, some of these descriptions aren't the most helpful. That's Taiga. I think that's Rin running into Taiga. Still in the prologue, Yoish. That's rooftop. That was our first interaction with Archer, yeah, where he was all like, "Hey, Rin, you suck." Repressed most of the early road due to how bad Shiro was. Mmm. Yummy. Are you Archer? That's my guess. I guessed correctly, old self. You did it. One Day of Peace was a busted Yu-Gi-Oh card. Oh shoot, hold on, what did I say? One Day of Peace was a busted Yu-Gi-Oh card. Is it still busted in current meta? Oh, I don't think so. No, no, because the game is way too fast now. Uh, um, right. And then Liar Liar Pants on Water Nani Desuka. I thought some of these descriptions would be more helpful. Right, yeah. And then this was our first fight with Lancer on the rooftop. Still stand the dude, but that was certainly not his best showing. Girls shouldn't fight, Emiya. Lancer vs. Archer hype. Disconnect. Shiro Shinji. I'll just she. I don't get the joke. We need some music. You know what? Hold on. Let's just jump to the present. I believe it's page 7? Page 8. Aha. New power outage. Who dis? Is this our oldest one? Newest one? It looks like it. 2020, March 20th. That sounds about right. Oh, that's kind of funny, because on March 21st, isn't that when, like, the Mario stuff and stuff goes away? Is there a song playing? I want a song playing. Hey, there's a song playing. Now we can have a song playing while we look over stuff. That just makes it feel more like, things are happening. I like it when things are happening. So this is my man, dude bro, Gilgamesh. Do we know that yet? Or do I know that just because of Zero? I don't remember. Old school Archer. Anyways, I don't think I know that yet, right? Because aren't they like, how does he have all the weapons? And they don't know. Or something like that. Or did they figure out? I don't remember. Those are the things I'm gonna forget. Is, did I know this yet or no? Right. And then we met Lancer. And then we became Shiro. This is where we became Shiro because he's having the flashback to the fire. And yeah, the fire is a big deal. Be careful. I forgot exactly what you know. But yeah. Just assume I don't know anything until I say something, and then you'll go, "Oh, he knows it." That's the mentality. This was the fire. Yeah, we didn't start the fire. Yeah. This was her remembering the fire. The fire seems to trigger big PTSD for Shiro for sure. And it seems like, if anything, he'd want to do a wish to go back and stop the fire from happening. But, you know, then there's other things later on. Sometimes I remember theories, but don't remember what led me to the theories. Like, for example, like, I remember the theory that Shiro is secretly a servant somehow that got spat out by Fate Zero's Grail, and I don't remember exactly why I had that theory. I believe I had reasons for it, but now I just remember the theory and not really the reasons. Anyways, recollection of 10 years ago, It's been 3 years, you can't convince me otherwise. Oh, that's right, the disbelief. He definitely lived longer than you say he did. Kiritsugu definitely died a couple of years later, or whatever it was. Recollection, rebirth. It's a choice! That's right, because we never had any choices as Rin, and that freaked me the freak out. Loved your theories. I share them with all the people I can. Arigato gozaimasu. So you said you started moderating for people, and you said I helped. Did you give me a plug, or was I just... I was going somewhere with that, but I didn't know how to finish off the analogy. You can fill it in for me. First day breakfast preparation. Mato Sakura. 1. I choose the waifu. That's right. I believe at the time I was like, yeah, I really liked... there was too many waifus. That's right. Too many waifus, not enough time. Dead Parents Trilogy. I gave you a plug. You were the dude who spoke about the Japanese language for hours. In what way? Do you mean as in I spoke about it because, like, I was thinking if I wanted to leave the voices on or off for a while before deciding leaving them on? Or do you mean that, do you mean I just speak about the Japanese language sometimes because I am sort of learning Japanese and sort of not, but I also just enjoy the language? Anyways, that just feels like an interesting way to describe me. Choice 2, Electric Burgerloo. Right, okay. The latter. Okay. And this is where we first met Best Girl. A white girl. Racist. Yeah, okay. Alright. And there was like a cool fight with Lancer, but we're not going to do that right now. Now, page 2. After dinner, well done. Free time event. Oh, that's right. I remember I could go and, like, I thought this would influence what girl I ended up with. Maybe that's still true to some extent, but I'm starting to doubt it now. This feels very much like the, you have to be with Saber. She has to be the waifu. Screw you if you don't like it. I could be wrong about that. It just feels that way. Because I haven't really been pushing for that route. I don't necessarily dislike it. But, you know, if I had my way, I probably would have ended up on either, like... I like them all, but, like, I would have went, like, the Ilya or maybe the Sakura. Or even, no, what's her name? Oh, I'm blanking on her name. Saber's the most boring waifu. That is quite possibly maybe correct. I don't necessarily dislike her as a waifu, though. But she may be the least of the best. Hold on. Where is config voices? I have to remember. Mitsuzu. Okay. Ayako. That's her name. I like Ayako. Neko. Right, of course. Right. Ayako is another one that I kind of liked. And then we haven't done too much with her. And we didn't do too much with Sakura. Have we still not talked to Sakura since we know her brother died, right? That's a thing that happened. Or we think he died. And we haven't talked to Sakura at all, and I keep thinking something dark's gonna happen, but the game kind of sidelined me on this, you're fighting Archer now path, and it's not really letting me, you know, figure out if she, like, killed herself in despair, or if she's happy that her brother's dead because he was abusive, maybe? We haven't really been able to follow up on that, and I think if I was Shiro, and I've talked about this before, how dumb Shiro is, But, yeah, I know. It's like she vanished from the narrative when her brother died, which just seems so weird because you think Shiro would be concerned for her mental well-being. Like, I think he was abusive, I don't know, but even like, abused loved ones can get, like, traumatized from losing a loved one before they're mentally prepared for it. Like if they don't let it happen on their terms, if it just happens, then it's worse than if the abuse continued. Almost it depends on what they do right afterwards. But yeah, it's just freaking. I kept wanting to go. Oh man, what? Yeah, too busy chasing Saber to think about the mental well-being of some people. Gosh, still haven't followed up on Sakura, have we? That's crazy. Shiro, you're such a D-bag. Can't you even think about how she feels about that? I know you're probably too busy going, he was a dick, it doesn't matter. But you know, things and stuff. Anyways, Hungry Hippo. That's right, choices. Then we met Tosaka Rin 1. Third time's the charm, but that's like bad and stuff, don't do that. Right, okay, I don't remember this guy's name either. Hold on, let me check voices. Config voices. What is his name? Issei. His name is Issei. Okay. Alright. Right, that's when we met Issei. He's from a temple. Right, there's something going on with the temple that wasn't fully explained in this pathway, because if I remember correctly, correct me on this if I am wrong, but if I remember correctly, it's supposed to be just Saber and this old archer left, like everyone else is dead? Is that correct? Or at least according to what they've said. I don't know. Now, it's very possible I could be believing that they're lying, but based on what they said, that might be true. And I remember thinking, wait, what? Did Lancer die off screen? Wasn't there, like, the freaking, what's his name? Assassin guy, did he die off screen? And then there was something going on at the temple, and we never fully were able to investigate that, right? And I remember thinking maybe Issei is, like, the master of somebody at the temple, but then they just got marked off screen. We don't know who, right, Castor, we fought Castor, and old Archer murked her, and we never saw who Castor's master was, right? Castor Master, I don't believe. And so, yeah, we don't know, and it's like, what? How do they just sideline all of that randomly? That's why I'm so convinced that we're close to the end of the playthrough, and there's going to be multiple pathway playthroughs, and it's just like, it feels so abrupt. I did not realize we had so much time left, like, because it felt like we were kind of taking a bit of a pace. Like, if we go to, what is it, status? Does it say when they're dead? Like, for example, if I go to Berserker, does it say dead? No, I don't believe it says dead. But yeah, okay, so the things we know, right, Master Emiyashiro, true name, Artoria, sex, yes. Yeah, they had the dragon sex, I remember that. They had the inner being dragon sex. Okay, you said no, I don't remember what you're saying no to. Lancer, okay, Cuckoo Lane, we never learned his master. That's right, I believe I was theorizing, if memory serves, I theorized that that the one jerk teacher was his master. I think that's correct, hold on, let me remember his name. We don't know this, but I believe my theory currently is that Soichiro is, no to the being dead thing on the status, yeah. I believe my ongoing theory is that Soichiro is Lancer's master, just based on what we know, because the master should be someone at the school, but I think Issei, I don't know if he's a master, but if he is, he'd be the master of someone I think that hangs out at the temple. As far as we know, Lancer doesn't hang out at the temple, so I don't know if they're both masters, I don't know. Okay, how many masters do we not know? Let me remind myself of that. Archer, true name, right, he's still a big question mark. No, that's right, because he showed up, well, we think he showed up based on the voice. He might have showed up in Saber's flashback, and he might have been like Merlin or something. That might be correct, but then he's an archer for some reason instead of like a wizard. He has high magical energy, he's got shit luck. And then that's right, I had a lot of different weird theories about Archer. I still don't know where this new Archer is going. but I had a lot of theories like, oh, he's secretly Shira from the future past, or he's the original person who went through a bunch of bullshit. He was the original timeline King Arthur. That's right. He was the original timeline King Arthur, or King whatever he was, and then he hated it, so he changed it, and then gave Saber the role, but now she hates it and wants to change it, and it's creating a vicious cycle. I think that was a theory. I definitely think Archer is in some weird limbo time thing, where we never figured out what the truth was with him in this pathway, but he clearly had a lot of crazy, powerful craziness. And so he's related to Arthur in some way, but I feel like he's on some weird access in the timeline, like from an alternate timeline servant, or maybe that's why he lost his memories, is that he wasn't supposed to show up. Like, he's like an alternate timeline servant or something. And when Rin fucked up she made it perfect, so she got an amazing servant, but she fucked up the timing of it, so she fucked up the timeline of it and got a servant from another timeline. Archer did somehow kill Hercules 7 times. He definitely has a lot of power, but we haven't seen. Yeah, it's, we don't know what's going on with him. It's very interesting. I was very surprised when he died. That's when I was kind of like, wait, what? Oh, we gotta have multiple pathways then. This isn't just gonna be one. Now, I always predicted it would be multiple, but I didn't necessarily know how big the changes would be, if that makes sense. Like, it could be a multiple time pathway thing, but each change is very slight, but I feel like each change is gonna be major now. Okay, so, right. Ryder. We don't know Ryder's true name. I remember still being like, wait, what, you're Ryder? I thought you were like... It still felt kind of weird to me that she was Ryder. But anyways, alignment, chaotic good. And that's weird too. What do you mean you're good? You seemed like a bad person. She's a little hat though. And you know, it's kind of hard to not forgive someone who's hat. Because I am the pervert. And therefore, if you give me a physically attractive female, I am going to do the simp thing. I am sorry for my pervertedness. But it's okay. Fate has enough physically attractive females that when I look at the bad ones, I can go, no, I will resist the urge. You are a bad person. Riding, A+. Ability to ride things. You really need to say that? Can ride even demonic and holy creatures if they are beasts. This, however, I should probably read all the descriptions again. But first, let's just remind myself. Right, Master Mato Shinji. And then Shinji had this whole thing where he was trained by a dude. He name-dropped either a dude or a place. I don't think we know for sure. And either it was like the school he was from or the person who trained him. And it was like, oh, we're going to run into him at some point. Never ran into him, so that's definitely a thing for a different pathway playthrough thing. Him or it or whatever it is. Right. And then there's Makiri. Okay, that's the name. Then there's Caster. We don't know the true name, and we don't know the master. Sex is female. Neutral, evil. Yeah, she definitely came off as evil. Assassin. Sasaki Kojiro. Kojiro! Yeah, it's hard for me to forget him, because NCS... He said Kojiro in a funny way once with one of the Koko's names from Ocarina of Time was Kojiro, and he said it in a funny way, and now that's always in my head, so I'll remember this guy as Kojiro. Sex male, neutral evil. Yeah, Ilya name dropped that. I remember that too. Ilya seems to know everything about everything, which is why she was really thrown off when she saw old Archer. She's like, I don't know everything about you, so it threw her off. I remember that. Yeah. Also, these fucking alignments are bullshit. What do you mean neutral evil? He was like the most honorable person. What are these alignments? And then Berserkers, Heracles. Master was Ilias. And then after we killed him, Ilias became best little sister. Yeah, I mean, sure, she killed Shinji. Shinji was a dick anyways, though. And then Archer number 2. Sex, sure. Okay, let's... Alright, which means how many... Okay, how many masters do we not know? 1, 2, 3. There's 3 unknown masters. And then, based on the number of people we know about in the game, let's see, 3 masters, and how many people could potentially be those masters, assuming there's none we have not seen yet. There very well could be some we haven't seen yet, but, like, let's see here, there's Ayako, Sakura, Taiga is 3. If I had to pick one person who I am confident more than any is not a master, it's probably Taiga, based on her role in the story. The game would be really subverting my expectations if she ended up being one of the masters. Right. So, okay, so Ayako, Sakura, Taiga, Issei. Issei I'm on the fence about because he seems like the Shiro's one guy friend, and I don't know, from a trope standpoint, it's a little unlikely for it to be the guy friend, but from a location standpoint, there was a lot of crazy shit going on at the temple. It felt like somebody was building energy at the temple. I don't know if it was Caster or not. Hello, Worm38P. Yasuka Taiga breaks some knees. Yeah, so, right, so we have 3 masters, Ayako, Sakura's 2, Taiga's 3, Issei is 4. Based on location and the fact that there seem to be 2 masters, or 2 servants doing some crazy shit at the temple, Issei could have been one of them, but that reminds me that Caster said she killed her master or something like that. I want to say she said something like that, though don't quote me on that, unless I'm right, in which case, feel free to correct me that I am indeed correct, that she said that. Because it was, yeah, I think that's what made her evil, is that I don't need my master because I built up power or something. In which case, I mean, I don't think we saw the one jerk teacher in a while, maybe it's jerk teacher, I don't know. But Issei is just in that temple area. Is it the same temple? She did say she killed her master. Yeah, that's funky. He was in the one temple area, and there's like at least two servants that were operating in the temple area, which makes Issei suspicious if it's the same temple, which I think it is. Soichiro is 5. Right, there's gonna be some, crazy stuff going on with Kirei. Right, that's right. Because I remember when I first started this, I was like, oh yeah, Kirei! Right, that's right. We had a hot date and we're fighting. Right, of course, yeah. Anyways, Kirei was a guy. He was in Fate Zero, and then I remember this when I started Fates Denied. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Kirei's here as like the prompter. But then I got later in the game and I'm like, wait a second. Wait, this would only really make sense if Fate Zero came first. Because Fate Stay Night comes first, it's really weird that Kirei has such a big role in Fate Zero if he was just a nobody in Fate Stay Night. So I think my ongoing theory is that Kirei is the final boss of the game, because he's got some secret ultimate wish that he did not have back in Fate Zero, back when he more or less won, but maybe he didn't have a wish, but since then he's gotten a real wish. Or he has I feel like he's got some master plan, and he's going to somehow be the final boss of the game. Something like that is my ongoing thought. The final boss of this pathway is very clearly going to be Archer. And it seems like he's going to kick our ass, right? Like, is it going to... I don't know. How are we going to beat him? Wasn't I talking about that too? Like, we are so unprepared for this. Like, it's way too... It feels like this is the end of the pathway. But without some bullshit shonen protagonist power-up, last-minute stuff, I don't feel like we're ready to beat him. So, I don't know. I remember before they went and knocked out all the other servants, I was like, okay, it'll be some other pathway where we beat Gil, or it'll be much later in the pathway. But now it feels like we're at the very end of the pathway and we have to be ready. So either Shiro's super evil demon, inner Holy Spirit that I predicted he might have, comes out and is how he ends up standing toe-to-toe with old Archer already, even though it feels like he's super unprepared. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe this is going on a bad ending route. I don't know, maybe old Archer just kills us. What was I saying? I don't know. I'm sure there are probably timelines where he kills us because there are bad endings. But, like, what if the pathway itself, that is the ending? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Right, Kirei is probably doing some crazy shit, but I don't believe he's anybody's master based on, you know, all the circumstances. Let's see here. Right, then there's Archer, Lancer, Eliasville, Rider, Berserker, Caster, others. That seems like it's it? Okay, so I'm more than anyone, I'm confident Kirei's. I don't believe Kirei is anyone's master. He might be double timing, but I don't think he's doing that. Oh, we don't have old Archer in our profiles? Oh, that's interesting. He's listed in others? That is odd. Right, so we have, there's like 5 suspects or something for who could be, and one of them I think is obviously not one of the masters. That really narrows it down. It's possible that there are more people we meet in other pathways we have not met yet. Like, for example, the Makiri person could be a master, so that's like opening up another route. There's 1, Ayako would be 2, Sakura would be 3, Taiga 4, Issei 5, Soichiro 6. If we cut out Taiga, who I'm pretty confident isn't one, that's like 5. So it might be among those 5, or there might be another one we haven't met yet. Anyways, back down memory lane. That's the wrong button. So, let's see here. Yeah, so we went with, right, let's see, Hungry Hungry Hippo, Third Time's the Charm, that's like bad and stuff. Foodie Food Dream, Awakening Morning, I should be looking at reading the titles. Well done. Morning in the Emiya Household, Part-Time Job. Right, Neko from the Part-Time Job. Of course, she's the real waifu route. What is burned in? Returning home one more time. Fate Stay P. Got to Saber, Yata. Lecture on Masters, Tosaka Rin 2. Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh cards for the win. Aha, yeah, I still have my Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh card. Or is it Chinese? Now that I know the language better. Let me look at it. It's still right here on my desk. Where is it? Where's my Japanese and or Chinese Yu-Gi-Oh card? Where is it? It's got to be here somewhere. Hold on, let me look at the card back. It has a fancy card back. That should give it away. The front should give it away too, but is it sticking to another card? Hold on. Hold the phone. I'm not finding my fancy Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh card. Or is it Chinese? I'll know when I read the... It's Chinese, right? That's right, because I read the characters live on screen, and it... oh, I found it. Yeah, no, this is a Chinese... No, it's Japanese. It's got what's it called? Kana. So it is Japanese. You started learning Japanese during my Fate break. Hey! Yeah, it looks like mostly... It's got Japanese. It's got, like, the letters like Ri and No. If it was Chinese, it would be all kanji, I believe. So, it is Japanese. Anyways. Fun fact, if you care, the card in question is, oh, well, I can't read its name. It's in Japanese. But it's like the metal guy who's got the scythe underneath him. 1750 attack. 2000 defense. He's got 6 stars. He's the dark attribute. All that good stuff. Do you know your trivia? Anyways, Kirei plus Saber equals awkward. That's right. We went to the church for the first time with Shiro. Saber waited outside and didn't really tell me things. Has she told me about her history with Kirei yet? No, I don't think so. I don't believe... Maybe. I don't know. Did she? I don't remember if she's told me or not. I know that... Wait, did we learn that that Daddy Dearest was a master yet? Because I don't believe we've learned the Elias connection. I don't believe we know that... I think Elias knows. But I don't believe we know that Elias, in universe, I don't think we know. She told Shiro about Carrie. Carrie? Okay, so... I don't believe we know, because I kept waiting for it to happen. I don't believe it happened. I don't think we know that Elias is our, like, sister person. So, sister from another mister, or whatever. No Ilia connection is known yet. But we do know that our father was a master. Is that right? Do we know that? Because she said, yeah, we participated in the last war and fought him. Was that what they talked about? I don't know. That's the one problem of knowing some stuff from Zero is, am I supposed to know it yet? Let's see. Deep Kire is the deep. Okay. Kotamine Church, alter ego. Oh, that's right. The fucking circle that was already there. That's the thing that I'm trying. Okay, that's right. There was a summoning circle there that I believe, if I understand correctly, that Shiro activated, but he never set up. And I remember I theorized for a while. We know Father was a master and that he blew up the Grail. Okay, we do know those things. All right. Right, so there was like a circle that Shiro used to summon Saber. I believe you have to use a circle. And I think, unless, again, Shiro's just super uber powerful, and that's how he did it without a circle. I think there was a circle. If memory serves, there was a circle there, and he never set it up. And I remember theorizing for a while, Elias set it up, because she wanted him to be part of the war, so she could beat him in the war. But then as I got further and Elias joined our team, she hasn't really talked about it at all, which would surprise me if she did set it up and was trying to now get on Shiro's good side. I'm surprised she still hasn't talked about it, which is why I was, a lot, like, there are different theories. Theory one is that Shiro goes back in time and becomes his own, he fulfills the connection, just like how Saber is inevitable. I don't know, time works on a weird, maybe Shiro is able to go back in time and set up the circle in the first place to make Shiro from the present actually active, because, like, someone had to set that up, right? If I'm understanding my fate lore correctly, and if I'm remembering correctly. And I thought it was Elia, but based on the way things are going, I am now starting to think that is not the case. So that's interesting. Anyways, Church alter ego. Okay, Deep Kire is deep. That's right. He's got a juicy, deep Japanese voice. Kotamine Church. Can we be pussies? For reals, though, I doubt it. That's right. This is when I learned about the bad ending. I was a pussy and got killed by Eliasville. My first game over. Fun times. Saber threatened to kill me, but she didn't actually. She was too nice. Right. Rip Grail War, but not rip us. Yata. Right. Okay. Forest of No Return. That's right. Tiger Dojo 1. There's a whole bunch of Tiger Dojos. She killed me, but I forgive her because it was hot. Yeah, basically. I saved her with my penis. It already happened. The strongest enemy. Are we cowards? Are we at another bad ending? That's right. This is when we were walking back home. Right, because if we walk back home alone, Eliasville just kills us. But when we walk back home with Rin, we run into Eliasville, and then we, like, do a shindig. Can we be pussies? Bad ending has Ilya saying you will. Does she say that? I doubt she says that. They'll use those words exactly, but I could see that though. Anyways, the strongest enemy. Right. So that's right. Berserker was winning this fight, but then he didn't fully win because he killed Shiro. And because Rin, earlier on, what was it? Earlier on, Rin used her Juju Juice in the prologue, right? Because we were dead or something. And then Rin brought us back with the Juju Juice. That's right. But now we're starting to learn that Rin bringing us back with the Juju Juice. That's right, because I was like, wait a second, shouldn't Lancers of Blow killed him in one hit? Doesn't Lancer know better than that? And then it's weird that he was even alive long enough for Rin to use the Juju Juice. And now I'm starting to think Rin using the Juju Juice was pointless, because Shiro seems to have super Wolverine healing, and healed from this Berserker injury, despite, like, you know, stuff and things. So it seems like Shiro's just got regenerative powers, which at first it was like, is it because of his connection to Saber? But now it's more like, no, he seems like he's just a super powered dude. Like he's got some Holy Spirit juices flowing through him or something. Like maybe, I don't know, like, because during the Grail, like, either he never talks about his real parents. That's right. That's what I went on and on about, is that he never, ever addresses his parents. When he talks about his father, he's always talking about Kiritsugu. He was not that young when his original parents died. So, theoretically, he should still remember them a decent amount, and he never fucking talks about it. So there could just be some strong PTSD there, or it could be, and it's not like he acts like he has amnesia. Like, I don't remember anything from before the fire. He never says that. He just never talks about it. So there's a couple thought through lines there. That's might be where part of the through line of he's some Holy Spirit comes from. Is maybe the Grail, when it got all fucked up, it spat a spirit out. Either it spat into Shiro and overrode him such that he forgot a lot of what was important before, but didn't realize that he forgot. I don't know. Or and that's right, it could have been the Archer, and that's how I'm also Archer. I'm remembering where the theories come from now. And that's right, because I remember thinking that he's kind of, right, Archer saw himself in Shiro. He was like, oh, you're so stupid, Shiro, when you grow up, but I'm only yelling at you because you were like me when I was younger, or something like that. He mentioned his past parents as his parents once, and then just moves on. Yeah, it's really fucking weird. Like, it's a weird form of PTSD. And, like, if the fire was such a big deal to him, that's the thing. If the fire, which it seems to be a huge deal to him, if the fire was such a big deal to him, then wouldn't he want to stop it for the sake of his, like, you know, keeping his parents alive or something like that? He never talks about that. He just talks about how, I feel so bad for everyone else who died in the fire. He never goes on about, I feel so bad for my original parents, as if they don't even exist. Like, he calls them his parents, and it's just so brushed to the side. It's either some traumatic thing there that he doesn't want to touch on, that subconsciously he just doesn't think about them anymore, but he still thinks about the fire, which just feels like conflicting stuff. Or there's more the sense that the fire, either he had an original self and the spirit of the Grail overrode him, or there was no original self and he got shot out all weird like by the Grail, and he just became a kid age when he should have been adult age, and he is like a spirit, but his powers are dormant. Something like that, I think, is going on, because he's got some crazy regenerative Wolverine powers, and we don't understand it. So, also, didn't he help to... That's right, he helped to craft, temporarily, when they were fighting Berserker, he helped to make, despite it being, like, the hardest magic, and him being a shitty magic person, he helped to make, like, the super awesome sword that Saber used. And it was like a flawless recreation for, like, an instant or something. And Rin's like, how the fuck did you do that? And he's like, I don't know. And it's probably because some of his dormant spirit powers are coming out. Caliburn, yeah. I'm remembering where the theories are coming from now. Okay. I remembered the theory, but I didn't necessarily remember where it came from. Now I'm remembering where it came from. Okay, alright. Let's see here. Fourth day awakening my room. Principle of action, Tosaku. That's usually how I am, typically. If I ever take a break, it's like, I remember the end result, but have trouble remembering where I got there, so that's why this is a good refresher. We're already dead and stuff. Right. Principle of action, Tosaku Rin. That's right, yeah, okay. Yeah, because, didn't we, that's right, I wanted to escape with, I forget which choice, didn't I choose to... no, that's right. I figured that, if we let Saber die, I forget what choice I chose here. If I chose Saber or Rin initially. If I chose one or the other, wouldn't I have seen the other Taiga Dojo? I might have. Wouldn't I save on a Taiga Dojo? I don't remember if I was save on Taiga Dojos. But I don't remember if I chose wrong here initially or not. I think I thought I chose wrong. That's right, I thought I chose a bad ending, because I protected Saber. Didn't I protect Saber? Yeah, and I wasn't trying to... I wanted to help Saber win in the fight. I wanted to, like, you know, if I ran, I figured that Berserker would win and catch up and kill us easily. I think that was my logic. So I wanted to be like... I didn't necessarily want to shield Saber like an idiot. I wanted to, like, yell at, Saber to, like, you know, help her dodge or something like that. Or I think that was the idea. Something like that. I wanted to give her strength because, like, our bond is our power or something. I think that was the idea. And that's right, we waited too long to flee with Rin. That was the logic. If we were going to flee with Rin, we should have fled sooner. Because we waited too long in the fight and Saber had basically already lost, so I felt like fleeing was pointless at that point. We would have just gotten run down. That's why I stayed with Saber, that's right. And I thought I was gonna, I thought I was going to get the bad ending, but then Shiro ended up living despite his stupidly terrible injury. The injury did make Elia start to fall for Shiro, though, probably subconsciously, because she thought she wanted him dead. But then when she saw him so hurt, it fucked her up, because she's like, wait, what? I thought I wanted this, but now I think I don't. That kind of thing. Yeah, I didn't know at the time Shiro was suicidal. Yeah, and it kind of clicked as it goes along. It's like he wants to die on some level because of the fire, because he thinks he shouldn't have lived, or maybe he thinks he shouldn't even exist because like he was spat out in the fire as a spirit but didn't know or something. And anyways, he's suicidal, but also it seems like he can't die because he's got clearly crazy regenerative powers. So there's something up with that, and it's an awkward combination. Right, so fourth day awakening, my room, we're already dead and stuff. Now it's a 3-way. Also, lol, had a big audience. Oh, right. The serious stuff. Arere? Morning, Rin's proposal. I mean, duh, I wanted this all along. That's right, this is when they joined forces. And was like, we could have joined forces earlier. And then Ren ended up being sketchy. I remember thinking she might have been doing something behind my back. And we never got back to that because she was like not fully fulfilling her end as a good teammate for a time, I think. Yeah, I want to say she wasn't fully doing that because she knew about Shinji, right? Because we told her about Shinji and then she just didn't fucking help me or something. Like a bitch? Something like that. For some reason, did she like Shinji or something? Why wouldn't she? I don't remember exactly, but I do remember, like, yeah, she was definitely having something going on and not telling us. And then, you know, she still never told us, even though Archer's, like, dead and stuff. And it's like, now I feel like she's fully committed to helping us out, now that Archer's dead. But beforehand, it felt like she was definitely doing her own thing. And it was weird because, you know, like, even though we had a date with Shinji, and I don't think she liked Shinji either, she was more than willing to let me risk it against Shinji, even though it was a huge risk. And hell, apparently, according to Shiro, if Shiro was correct, and I hope Shiro was not correct, because if Shiro was correct, Rin predicted, or if Saber was correct, I think Shiro was too dumb to be correct. I don't remember. Someone predicted it. I out of universe thought this was not true because I thought this made Rin kind of a bitch. Where Rin predicted that Shiro would go to the temple and Saber would go to the temple and Shiro would follow her. And I remember thinking, wait, if you predicted that, follow them too to help them out. And she fucking doesn't. And it's like, what, you were using us as bait, as scouting? Like, you know that I suck. Or maybe she knows that I doesn't suck and isn't telling me. Maybe she already figured out that I have super regenerative powers. But the way she acts sometimes doesn't really add that up. She will talk to me and say, just because you regenerated once doesn't mean you should take that for granted. And how do you have those crazy superpowers? And she's my magic teacher, and you know, stuff like, this might kill you. That's right. If I do this operation, this should kill you when I take your magic circuits and give the power to Saber or whatever. Or it'll fuck you up even if it doesn't kill you. And even though it fucked him up, just after it fucked him up, that's when he had the crazy Caliburn whip out. After he lost his magic circuits, which should have made him magically weaker, he did the strongest magical thing he's ever done. It's pretty ridiculous. Rin looked at his shed and was freaking out. Good old toe sucker, yeah. His shed. Was she freaking out because of the circle? Or, I don't remember why she was freaking out. Was she freaking out because of his training? Alright. Okay. Did you know Rin is a girl? I bet you didn't know that. Contract established. Stats, my head, it is hurting too much. But forenoon? Is Saber the Saber class? Not possible. Yep. Grail War DXD. I still have to watch the latest season of High School DxD. I am not caught up with that. Woohoo! Let's see here. Page 3. That's right. 4th day dinner. Buddy Saber, Buddy Rin. Sabers aren't for kissing, they're for fighting. That's right. That was throwing me off, I remember, because, like, you know, they talk about how, oh, it's based on the legend, the servants are based on the legend, so whatever you get from the legend. Whatever is thought to be true ends up being true, and that completely contradicted Saber, because it's like, oh, she's King Arthur, but King Arthur in all of the legends is 100% a guy. There's no reason she'd be a girl, and it fucked with my mind for so long. I'm like, are they just inconsistent? Is this just a plot error? And I just kind of accepted it as a plot error for a while, and then they got to the point where it's like, wait, no, never mind, we take it back. Saber's weird. She's not a normal servant. Normal servants do work that way, and their only possible wish, I guess, can be to become real people or something. But Saber's a different, because she like did a time loop thing where it's like she got the Grail because she had to get the Grail, and then made herself a servant with the promise that if she got the Grail, she'd make herself a servant. But she's also time-locked in that she was just on the hill. She's not some 1,000-year-old servant who's been doing the good fight. She basically, so she's theoretically the same age, which is why the Shiro-Saber romance isn't that squick. I originally thought it's pretty squick. You're gonna fuck a ghost girl, but she's not the total squick. Diagrams. Alright, let's see here. Gotta catch 'em all, waifu wars, but no, really, what is the rest of this? What are we doing when friggin' Sakura, not Rin, comes back and Rin, not Sakura, is all like, what the hecky heck? Right, of course, because Sakura was living with us for a while, and then Rin started living with us because of our arrangement. And let's be honest, Rin has wanted our dick for so long. Let's not even lie about it. And she was super territorial towards Sakura. And, Rin might have been lying to herself, but she 100% wanted our ding-a-ling. And was super territorial about it. And then Sakura was territorial back. She usually doesn't get confrontational. But when she saw that Rin was there, she's like, okay, Taiga's okay because she's a bunch older and you're probably not going to do funny business. But you and Rin together, Shiro, that's not an A-okay. And they got into a cat fight. But then they got into an agreement where Rin's like, okay, I'll be with Shiro for like a week. I don't remember when that agreement started exactly. But, it was like, I'll be with him for a week and then we're done, with the idea that we would finish the Grail War in a week or finish our alliance in a week. And then, which by the way, with Archer dead, now of all times you'd think Rin would stop living with us, but she's too invested. She wants to fight even if she's not a frickin' master anymore. I understand her personality. But, what was I saying? Right. I was just checking my drop frames. We are dropping a bunch. I'll have to reset before tomorrow. Right, yeah. So very territorial. And then it's like, you be away for a week. So Sakura was being away for a week. And then, did we ever see Sakura again during that week? I know we've not seen her again. I fight to win. Even when, my servant's gone and I'm basically out of the fight. Yeah. So it's interesting that, I know for sure we have not seen Sakura since Shinji died, because I remember being like, what the fuck, dude? Go see her. Go see her. But I don't remember if we saw her at all before that, since the week break started where Sakura stopped living with us. Which that's been a missed thing, because I enjoyed Sakura. I enjoy Rin too. I want to save her with my penis. I want to save them all with my penis in different pathways, I guess. I think I succeeded in saving Ilya with my penis. But, Rin feels very mentally fucked up. She feels far too focused on the fight because of the pathway her father sent her down. It's like, it's all she cares about. She doesn't even have a real wish. She's just like, I fight because it's the Tosaka thing to fight. She talks about how she hates magic and wishes she has a normal life, but then at the same time, she's willing to just willy-nilly enter this death fight and doesn't even have a wish. She doesn't even have a fucking wish. And it's really mentally fucked up. Yeah, she needs to be willing to have a normal life. Despite the fact that she's all like, even in her inner freaking monologue, oh, I want to be a normal girl, magic sucks. But then she's also like, I have to do this fight because that's what I'm supposed to do, because my father led me down this path, so I have to do the fight. I don't want to, but also, I only want to. But also, it's like, what the fuck, Rin? Like, I feel like her interactions around Shiro, that's why I think she's gotten Yeah, we talked about how Rin is the yin to Ilya's yang. The thing about... That's right, because Ilya was sort of brought up in it, and Ilya doesn't necessarily want to be in it, but she'll do good because she is in it. But, like, Rin's different because she, even though she had a mentor that sent her down the path, she then followed the path her own because her mentor went and died. Whereas with Ilya, I mean, she's just been, she has been coddled down the path, so she doesn't necessarily want to be on the path and would happily escape it. She just felt like obligations prevented her from escaping it, I suppose. But then when Berserker got killed, it just opened her eyes to, like, holy shit, I lost. That means I don't need my obligations anymore. Yay! Was basically Ilya's thought process, I think. It really shattered her for a second, but then she's like, now I get to like Shiro and not have to feel conflicted because of my obligations. Yeah. What was it? Yeah, so, Rin is an interesting one because it was almost inevitable that she was going to get the hots for Shiro based on the way she lives, because she always hides. She hides her magic self from the plebs because she's like, I'm better than them, I have to train for the Grail War. And so then when she runs into Shiro, who the first boy her age that she can really share her magicalness with, it was kind of inevitable that she could open up her real self, despite Shiro going, I used to think she was hot, but now she comes off as a bitch. What he doesn't realize is that her coming off as a bitch is her way of showing her real-ish self. And that her showing her real-ish self is showing that she trusts Shiro to an extent. And of course, it was inevitable. I think she was going to like him to an extent based on those circumstances, that she's never really been able to open up to anyone her age. She hasn't really... She's talked about... She talked with her female friend, whose name is escaping me again, Ayako, at the beginning of the game, about how they were having a fight over, I want this boyfriend, I want that boyfriend, etc., etc., etc. And even though she constantly is asked, she always turns them down. Shiro lost her crush on Rin, but to be honest, I feel like Shiro fell in love with Rin for a bit after that. I mean, yeah, because right now, yeah, Shiro is 100% on the Saber train. Shiro definitely has had some hots for a lot of females. I don't believe he's been a one... Like, now he's a saber-sexual. Now he's full-on saber-sexual. But there were definitely times where he was like, oh, yeah, I feel bad about liking Shinji's sister. Shinji, my good friend! That's right, because didn't he know from earlier that Shinji was a bit of a dick and still thought of him in his internal monologue as a good friend? That's right, which leads into the idea that Shiro hates himself. Because if someone who he doesn't like, that's right, someone calls him bad names, he doesn't think of that person as a dick. He goes, oh yeah, they're probably right, I'm probably a shithead, so I won't hate on them for hating on me. Or something like that. Anyways, that's right. Because he knew or thought Shinji was a dick, and yet still in his internal monologue thought him as a friend. It's weird. So, yeah, the Rin thing is interesting because of the circumstances. Rin, she's fully on to Shiro, and was territorial around it with Sakura, and territorial with Ilya for sure. But, Saber is the real person who stole me away at this point. Right. Okay. What the hecky? And then, cancel. Too soon or not too soon? Waku waku Fujine. No, this looks like it would be my, my description. It's the actual title. Waku waku. Fifth day, lunchtime choice. Three's company, like, but who's three? Okay. That's right. Memories. Lunchtime choice. Shinji's a farking farker. Fark you, Shinji. Go fark yourself. Right, okay. Why did I think this? I'm trying to remember why I wrote this here. I mean, I know now that Shinji's a farking farker, but I don't think we knew back then that Shinji was a total farking farker, unless we did. I think this was one of those when we found out. This might have been one of my theories about Shinji being an abusive doodle nod is when they started to form, at least fully. So that might be why I said he's a farking farker. Or maybe we interacted with Shinji despite him thinking of as a good friend and he was a dick. It's interesting, though, that Rin seems to be shipping Saber X Shiro. Okay, did she help Shiro on this date? See? Didn't remember that. But, yeah, that is interesting. Maybe, okay, that's right, that's right. I think I remember why. I think it's because Rin doesn't take it seriously. Like, I think the mentality Rin has with Saber is that these are not real people. And I don't know, feel like Shiro knows the story that Saber is a real girl. I don't believe Rin knows. Maybe Rin does know. But, I feel like the idea from Rin's perspective is, well, if I try to be too much against this, then Shiro might not like me. But, like, if I'm for this and help him out with it, then afterwards, then Shiro and me might, because Saber's going to be out of the picture because she's just a servant. Like, I mean, maybe if she wins the war and becomes corporeal, but, like, is she really going to want to be with him? And at this point, yes, she does want to be with him. But it's probably the idea from Rin's perspective, at least I think it used to be. More recently, it's coming into question, I'm not sure. Maybe at this point Rin has seen how close they are and is sort of giving up on that, or at least deciding, I'll be second fiddle to Saber. I'll keep my option open, but I probably can't beat Saber. I've seen how much of a Saber-sexual Shiro is at this point. That might be what she's doing. Maybe. Let's see here. Lunchtime choice. Save for the sake of saving. That's right. Return from evening question for Saber. I need a servant three-way hubba hubba. Why did I say that? Oh, is that because I'm like me, Saber, and Ilya, me, Saber, and Rin? Did we see the female writer at this point? That could be I think this is too... Oh, this would be... Hold on. This is Shinji's invitation. Oh, these save points are going faster than I realized. Page 7? I thought this was much later than page 3. It's interesting looking back at this stuff. Maybe we did know at this point. We did meet Ryder. That feels too soon. I guess I'm not remembering my timeline of events very well. Question unknown. I choose you. Go, Archer. Are you me from the future? That shortens to Archer. Are you me from the... Does it? No, it doesn't. Conspiracy theory confirmed. Who was he fighting right now? Hold on, I'm going to load this up to see who he was fighting. I don't remember who he's fighting. That guy. Where the heck are we? Can I look at the transcript? History? I should think about a servant I have already encountered. Oh, is he not fighting anyone and just having a flashback? Only clear when I actually encounter it. I don't believe he's fighting anyone. I don't know that we saw... Because I feel like the only people we ever saw Archer fight was Lancer. And then he fought Berserker, but I think that was largely off screen. I feel like those are the only fights we saw because Shiro had to do the assassin thing himself because Archer was like still recovering, assuming that wasn't bullshit or something. And then we had to do the Rider fight ourselves. Despite the team up thing, she only ever actually helped a bit with the Ilya. So that's interesting. Okay, so I think we're just flashing back and he's not actually fighting. Hold on though, like if I go a little further, I might be able to, yeah, this is just I'll ask about Tosaka's servant, Archer. That's what this is. I understand now. Okay. I thought there was a fighty fight. It wasn't a fighty fight.
本物だというのだろ?
Okay, so we were on page... Oh, no, don't do that. Page 3. Right, so... Right, okay, this was me asking questions about... That's right, because Rin was like, which servant do you want to know about? And I was like, oh, that's right, our dojo training! Our dojo training! Because when we started dojo training, you know, there was a choice. Shiro could have asked, hey, where did you get those clothes from? And he never did, and we never found out. That's a thing I want to check at some point. Anyways, it's right. We were allowed to ask about the different servants. I asked about me from the future. That's what was happening. Bedtime. Crash of the lion and the tiger. The tiger would be Taiga. The lion, is Rin a lion? Is she meant to be a lion? Okay, this is when Taiga first runs into... I see. Understand. So speaking of... Okay, and this is before, I guess... Because wouldn't Taiga have gotten injured in the... that's right, because Shinji tried to do the blood... was Shinji doing the blood seal? Yes, we think. I think that's what we think. That's right. Oh, Saber is the lion. Oh, that's right. this was Taiga, being necessarily okay with Saber sleeping in a similar room or close by or something like that to protect me or something. That's right, and Saber. That's right, because Saber was like, oh yes, Kiritsugu entrusted him to me or whatever, which is kind of sort of true in a sense. And then Taiga fought her and lost or something, and then it's like, oh, I'm losing my Shiro Wiro. But anyways, so speaking of Saber, Bond 07, right? Okay, yeah, I'm remembering. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. So it was Ryder. It seems that set up the blood seal, which is really weird because that feels like a caster move. And in that blood seal, I believe Taiga would have been present because school was going on. We just like skipped or whatever. I think school would be going on. It wasn't fully complete, so it didn't kill them. But Taiga, I don't think we saw her again since because she would have been hospitalized, unless I'm incorrect about that. But I don't think this set up the blood seal because the blood seal would have been after the invitation where Shinji suggested we team up and fight the Cooties Rin. That's right, because Shinji has a weird circumstance, right? Where he said, like, didn't he say, like, I was forced into it or something, something, something. If Makiri is a person, maybe Makiri forced him into it or the Makiri place, he was forced into it. Mentioned that he kicked Taiga when she was down when the whole blood seal thing was happening. Oh, what an asshole. Don't remember that, but that does sound like a Shinji dick move. I don't feel bad for him at all that Ilya killed him, to be honest. Way to school morning at the Emiya house. I can be on... That's right. Okay, here's a thing. As I remember thinking, wait, are Ryder and Caster... That's not right. Go to status. Are Ryder and Caster related? Or is Caster secretly Ryder? Because if you look at them, the shade of hair is not that different, and their eyes are covered. They could be different people, but like also this seal on her forehead is not being fully seen. That comment is the reason why Shiro crossed the line and moved to kill Shinji. Right, okay, sure. I remember thinking that Ryder might secretly be Caster, and I feel like there's still some semblance of that in my mind, and maybe the profilers are messing with me. Because I thought, oh, maybe we thought that Ryder died, but she actually survived, and Shinji then was killed, and Caster was actually Ryder. I remembered, like, there might be some merit to that thought process, that Caster all along was Ryder and couldn't maybe move on her own while Shinji was around because of something Makiri did to make her controlled, and then the control left, like maybe the thing that's covering her eyes, or maybe the tattoo on her forehead, and maybe the control left when Shinji was killed, so she was able to do her own thing. There's a through line there, or maybe they're related, or maybe I'm wrong. They look fucking similar, though, especially when they're both covered in very similar ways. Their hair color is slightly different, but not that different. It also could just be a lighting thing, that it looks purple here and pink here, or it's like still purple, it's just different shades of purple. Anyways, right. So, okay. I can be on topic, mommy, on promise? Don't you mean I promise? I think I fucked that up by not saying I promise. But, yeah, then 6th day. Gosh, 6th day. How fast did we progress through the days? Because, hold on, it was like 2 days ago prologue. When did 1 day ago prologue start? 1 day ago. So, on save point 7. No, save point 8. Then 9, 10, then 10, so it took only 2 save points to get to the day. Then 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so it took then 4 save points to get to first day. So we were here by save point 14, and then day 2, that took a while because that was like 7 save points, 8, 9. Nope, it took 8 save points. That was a while. Then second day, 1, 2. That only took 2. That's a quick day. Third day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a long day. 8, 9. 9, right. And then I passed into the 4th day after getting killed, quote unquote, by Berserker. That was a long day. 4th day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a long day. 9, 10. Okay, 10. 5th day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, they're all, most of them are long days, not all of them. There was like the one short day. Okay, this is when the 6th day starts. Way to school. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, intermission. Elegant Moonlight versus Assassin. That's right. We cut away to see Assassin. That's right, because Shinji gave us the hint about the assassin thing. Was that right? Shinji gave us a hint, and then Saber's like, we need to fight somebody. And so Shinji was probably hiding out in the forest. I don't know if we ever learned who it was, but somebody was hiding out to ambush us. And that's why Assassin stopped the fight, because he's like, this is unfair. So that's probably what it was, that Shinji wanted us to go to the temple and probably fight who was ever there. And then he was going to try to either get a cheap kill on us, or if there was a convenient way, or otherwise maybe, you know, just let us fight each other out, or something along those lines. He probably was the one trying to go for the cheap kill. I don't know if we had confirmation on that, but that was the theory, I think, at the time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Interlude. Yeah. All right. Invitation, breakdown, choice. Shinji, when are you gonna ass and ate me? Oh, ha 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 ha. Do we ride her? Right. Is Shinji good? Is Ryder good? More than just good looking. Everyone getting along. Strategy meeting. Should we challenge Ryudo Temple? Right. We said no, and then Saber was like, fuck your choice. Your choice doesn't matter. I'm gonna disobey a master. For the first time ever, or whatever. Like a dick. Anyways, I get why. I know why Saber did that, but still, dick move. Bigger dick move on Rin's part if she really did predict it happening and not help us. No thanks, seems stupid. Shiro was already the... Yeah. And then there's Interlude, Nani Deska. And there was Demonic Sword versus Assassin 2, for some reason. Oh, versus Assassin 1 versus Assassin 2. Are we getting Seba Noble Phantasia? Because that's a biggie. Lawful. Let's see here. Boy meets girl 1. I swear I was not smooching ghost. Promise. I see. Okay. Return home contract. Lady, we're gonna be having the words. If you suspect... Yeah, this really got me on Rin's bad side. Or, yeah. It got her on my bad side. If you suspected, then you should have erected a counter dissectant. But you didn't. Ya biatch. Okay. Awakening morning. Superhero and the usual breakfast. I'm sorry, Sakura. Sorry for being such a me. Sorry for being me. Right, this is like me being like, I'm sorry that I didn't even think to tell you in advance, or whatever. Or know what to eat. Oh, that's right. Or even, like, try to figure out how to protect you with Shinji involved. Okay, 4th page. Let's see here. This is still 6th day. No, it's the first 7th day. No, this is the first 7th day. Okay, so it was like 9 6th days, 1 7th day. 4th page. Yeah, okay. Before noon, training swordsmanship, lifeguard. What those stars, man, like, let me check. Oh, I know what that was. Okay, this is training swordsmanship, right, because we got better and better as we trained. Hard knock training. Oh boy, personal time with the help. Then with Saber, what to pour into the Grail, rambling about life. Then there was the daughter of Winter Ilya, right. Yay, I save Ilya without needing the penis. Doesn't mean we can't still use it. I didn't even read it and I knew what I said. All I could see was doesn't mean what, and I knew me. I knew I said doesn't mean we can't still use it though. Oh, that's great. Anyways, yeah, this is when we went off. We were going grocery shopping because apparently we grocery shop every day for our meals like an idiot in the middle of the Grail War instead of stocking up at least a decent amount in advance. Like, come on, Shiro. And then, of course, you fucking run into... They could fucking kill you while you're out and about. And of course you run into Ilya, but that was my choice. I decided to do that because I expected we'd run in. And this is where the dance began. This was our first meeting after Berserker almost killed me. And where I confirmed my theory that Ilya, yeah, was definitely felt really bad after what happened with me almost dying. So 7th day was here. Then we moved into... it's like he wanted to die or something. Ha 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 ha. Magic lecture, magic crest. Tosaka, too much clothes, come off when? Ha ha ha. Magic lecture, magic crest. Derp at the end, that's just silly. Could you not wait 5 seconds? Alright. Let's see here. Late night bedtime, differing person. Archer vs. Shiro, or are they the same? Right, okay. This was when I was definitely being like, yeah, Archer sees Shiro in his past self. Because even though he was like, hey, Shiro, I don't like you. And Shiro's like, hey, Archer, I don't like you. Archer found himself actually, he really saved Shiro from the jam with Berserker. And he seemed to be giving him some life advice. Archer probably saw Shiro in his past self. Unless literally he's his past self. Again, that's the idea, is that maybe Shiro is young Archer. And Archer fucking hates himself from the past because of the stupid choices he made when he was a dumb kid. So there's that theory. The current thought of Archer and Shiro is Archer thinks Shiro is his past self, but he's wrong. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because I thought, oh, right. Archer, okay, yeah, Archer sees his past self in Shiro, but he's not necessarily right because I think Shiro is growing up more in the Kirei direction. He feels a lot more dark. That's right. He thinks that he's a naive superhero, but that's not what's really going on. He actually is smarter than he lets on. He just purposely does dumb things to die sometimes, or because he hates himself, which I don't think was true with Archer to that extent. I think Archer was the naive superhero legitimately, whereas Shiro is lying to himself about being a superhero. Because he's saying that because he wants to carry on Kiritsuku's thing or whatever. But in reality, he's got more of a dark side to him where he actually just wants the fight. And even though he's ignoring ways of actually being a real, genuine superhero. Like, I could practice this or practice that. Because he doesn't want the dream to be shattered. Because he's got no much of a goal in life. So as long as he has that, in the future, I'll be a superhero. He doesn't have to, like, end it all or whatever. There's that possibility. But he doesn't actually take steps to actually help people, like... hundreds of kids and Taiga, I'm still not happy. Yeah, that was true too. Like, he finally saved a bunch of people, and he didn't even really care, because saving people, like, that would have made Kiritsugu really happy. Kiritsugu saved one fucking person and became really happy, because Kiritsugu was genuinely, like, a superhero, and Shiro wanted that to be his place in life, because he looked up to Kiritsugu so much, but that was never, who he really was, is what it seems to be. And I think Kirei called him out on that way early on. I remember this. Kirei was like, is that true, Shiro, or are you a lying little shitbag? And I'm like, is he a lying little shitbag? And the more it's gone on, it seems like, yeah, he was a lying little shitbag. Kirei was like, you want a super villain. You want a villain to fuck things up to beat them. But then he's like, no, I don't. But now the further I get, I think that's not necessarily true either. He doesn't want a villain, but the reason he doesn't want a villain is because he doesn't want to prove to himself that he doesn't actually want to be a hero. And it's true he doesn't actually want to be a hero, but he does not want to acknowledge that side. All he's doing now is being a saber-sexual, which is arguably more healthy than what his life was before, because at least it gives him some kind of purpose and intent. And Saber seems like a good person, so being the saber-sexual and following her path will at least make him do some good things by association and be happy about them when she's happy. Because it's like, he gets happy when she's happy, but otherwise, he just doesn't give a fuck. He could save a bunch of people and he doesn't care. Even though, you know, he says he wants to be a hero and help people. It's false advertising. That was probably true of Archer. Archer and Kiritsugu probably have similar things in common, where they were similar type of bright-eyed, whatchamacallit, as a youngin', and then grizzled hergadurger as an olden. And they maybe, and because of Kiritsugu's influence, Archer probably sees some of his past self in Shiro, but Shiro is really more of a Kirei and was just brought up by the wrong person. And as a result, he's got a really conflicted mindset. There might be some truth to that. I think Shiro is a pretty bad boy, deep down, and maybe Kiritsugu's raising messed with that a little, but then there's also Saber. There's also the theory that maybe Shiro was the Saber's stalker, right? Because Saber had like some weird stalker in her time that maybe stole her thing or something like that. I don't remember the exact logic. And there's the idea that if Shiro is a Holy Spirit, maybe he's that Holy Spirit, and he's like a Saber sexual because of that. That's one idea. Anyways, I'm remembering all the theories now. So many theories. Obviously, they can't all be correct, but... Alright, so 7th day wasn't that long. Well, actually, it was still pretty long, but it wasn't that long by how long the days started to become. Differing person. Or are they the same? 8th day morning, training swordsmanship, lifeguard and safe. Wait, isn't this... 69 funny joke, return home before dinner, Shiro peeping incident. Oh, that's right, I remember that. Let's relive the glory days. Hello.
白
Hello, Saber.
二度湯のようですが、今は私が使っています。できれば遠慮してもらえると助かるのですが。
It seems you are here to take a bath again, but I'm using it at the moment. It would be helpful if you could reserve yourself for now. Yes, this was back when Saber didn't really see any kind of sexualization in Shiro. Shiro definitely saw it. And Shiro was like, Saber, think of yourself as a real girl because I want to think of you as a real girl because I fucking love you. But Saber didn't think of herself because she had to think, or at least that was my thought. But the reality is she had, even though she wanted to think of herself as a real girl and eventually started to give into it, but she's like, no, I can't do that. I have my obligation, my duty to being the king, the fucked up duty, which she hasn't had a lot of time. That's why she seems so immature at times about it, is because she isn't some 1,000-year-old servant. She is still that teenage girl who just wants to fulfill that wish, which is why she isn't the most mature person about it, and still wants to ignore her feelings, but it makes more sense the feelings come out because she's, Shiro's less, he's still helping her, but he's less special than he would have been if she was a 1,000-year-old spirit that still started to fall for him regardless. I think we theorize why Shiro has such low intelligence at times is because he willingly limits his IQ so he doesn't fall to his dark impulses as close as his eyes to most things. Right. There is that theory too, is that, yeah, that's true. That's true, is that he has dark thoughts and just holds all of them back, so he doesn't think much about the good things. The reason he doesn't do smart good things very often is because he's not a very good person. That's not what he thinks about. What he thinks more about would be bad things and then holds them off, or something. Or, you know, maybe, I remember talking about this, what if his IQ got fucked when he almost died by Berserker? That was a weird theory I had back then, because it seemed like he's been so stupid ever since, but no, I think now he's just got crazy regeneration powers. It seems they're taking a bath again, but yeah, right. Okay, so we just had a nice little, you know, reminder of, you know, where the love story truly began. I mean, it began sooner than this, but anyways, let's get our song back. I like our song.
本物だというのだろ
No. Okay, back to page 4, halfway through. Return home before dinner, Shiro peeping incident, 69 funny joke. Shopping district, the smart thing is to go home, but the smarter thing was to buy food in advance and screw it, I like Elia. Yeah, okay, that's when I went on my way to see Elia, even though it's really, really dumb. But I wanted to take the chance on Elia, but, you know, real right. Okay. Then there is Issei get well visit. Types of smiles. Ryudo, you such good friend. But also go away, please. I trying to train spelling bad. I am very much the spelling bad. Issei's get well visit. Types of smiles. Hold a sec. Gonna flash the shower scene. I just did that. Before dinner choice. Fuji choice. We can romance our teacher. Is that more or less weird than romancing our sibling? Then there's also romancing a ghost, so pick your poison. Right, the most normal is romancing our sibling because we're not related by blood. That's the most normal. Also, there's some weird... Okay, it's starting to become backwards, right? right? Where at first I'm like, okay, it's weird for Shiro to romance Saber because Saber's actually a 1,000-year-old ghost and Shiro's a normal kid. And now I'm like, wait, no, Saber's a normal servant. But she's not a normal servant. She's a fucked up servant who's kind of a normal girl. But now it's reversed where I'm starting to think Shiro is secretly some kind of servant, and he might actually be secretly 1,000 years old. So he's the real one who it's weirder for Saber to be fucking. Maybe. There's some thought process there. But anyways, okay. Let's see here. Not as hot, but I'll take it. Golden bath. Right, this is seeing her, right, with the... Okay, let's see all the... We're gonna go down the memory lane of... This is how we...
夕飯の支度はいいのですか?
This is how we got to where we are now with the other archer being our super love rival and us being super into saber sexual. We're going through the motions of the romance. Yeah, she looks nice just after getting out. Let's see here. Then, let's see here. Golden bath. Not as hot, but I'll take it. Bare knuckles Rin. Someone kill Shiro already again. Because I want to see more Taiga Dojo. But no, really. Let's start killing some kids. This Grail War needs more war. Right. I remember I was starting to be like, come on, pick up the pace. Pick up the pace. Recap episode before the season finale. Yeah. Right, okay, this is, reminding me of something. Right, because we got a Taiga Dojo. I don't know if we've ever actually seen Shiro die for these Taiga Dojos, and they're just wrong ends. Because, I'm trying to remember, we got a Taiga Dojo with Ilya, and that was the one where Berserker, of course, killed us, but he didn't kill us. Elias Veal, from what I understand, kept us alive with her magic and was going to, use us and torture us for eternity. I saved her with my penis after that, but she was going to torture us for eternity, probably to get back at Kiritsugu. But anyways, what was I saying? Right. Even though but the thing is, was I kept alive because of her magic, or was it because of my regenerative abilities? There's probably a combination going on there, but we didn't actually die as far as we knew. And then we got another one where we decided to be Ilya's servant. And, I feel that wasn't even necessarily a bad ending when we became her familiar. It's not that bad. Because, we became her familiar, and, and that was it. And then it just ended. We didn't die. Is there any other Taiga Dojos we've gotten so far? Remind me if I'm forgetting. I feel like it's just the two, and neither of those have been real deaths. I feel like Shiro's an immortal or something. And the closer... I don't know. The closer he gets to... That's not true, because the closer he gets to death... Maybe now the closer he gets to death, maybe like now he's more awakening his stuff with both Rin and Saber and stuff like that. But if memory serves, we've only seen the two Taiga Dojos. Remind me if that's a lie. If there are others that I'm forgetting, remind me. Let's see here. What else? Let's see. Tosaka, too much clothes come off when? Let's hear about the end. Okay, I've seen this already. The smart thing is to go home. Ryoto, you such good friend. Right, and then there was someone kills Shiro again. Shiro's can magic now. Yay, maybe. Magic lecture switch. Maybe he should... We saw another in the forest where Shiro gave up after Saber lost. Oh, I think I kind of remember that. Yeah. I roughly remember that. Okay, so we've seen 3, but we didn't necessarily see Shiro die, though, right? Remind me if I'm wrong, but I believe we would not have seen Shiro die there. He just, gave up? Because he was supposed to believe in... I don't remember how that one went. We might actually rewatch that one. I don't remember that one. And I'm very curious about that one. Maybe you should take some Pepto... Take some Pepto for that magic drug burn. Yeah, just giving up. It seems to me like none of the bad ends will actually kill Shiro because I think he's like immortal or some junk. Or at the very least, if he's not immortal, then he's like Holy Spirit levels of durable. So extremely durable. We have dropped 5,000 frames. Definitely have to reset for tomorrow. But again, it's just recap today. It's not a big deal, I don't think. Anyways, let's see here. Ninth day. When we we transitioned to the ninth day here. Okay, and then eighth day is here. Okay. Before afternoon training surgeonship, do we Tosaka or do we no Saka? Ooh. Drugs. Oh, this is the drug one I had up for a while. Okay. Ninth day afternoon. Let's Hachiko. I'm waiting like a dog. Right. Blood Temple versus I need the music back again. Blood Temple versus Rider 1. What does Shinji want to tell us? Does it have to do with Rin? Oh boy, oh boy. Let's load. Does this give us music? Just I want some new music. Give me music.
俺に教える
No, there's no music. Oh, yes, there's music. Okay, this works. Ooh, it's the boo boo, boo boo boo, do do do, ju ju ju. I like it. Okay. Where were we? Right. What does Shinji want to tell us? Does it have to do with Rin? Okay. Then there's afternoon. Blood Temple versus Rider 1. So yes, Shinji a bad confirmed. Yes, that was definitely when that was like Shinji the bad. Then there's afternoon. Blood Temple versus Rider 1. Mid-battle choice. This is new. Right, I remember enjoying the battle. I remember expecting battle choices and being exciting when they turned out to actually be a thing. I enjoy mid-battle choices. Because I remember wanting them and then not getting them for a while, and then we started getting them here, and I enjoy mid-battle choices. I like them. Anyways, verse Rider 1, Sparks. Can Shiro fight Rider? I don't think so. He actually, you know, he didn't get killed from his fall from the window because he's immortal or whatever. It's like, yeah, because as Saber was trying to go after Shinji or something, Rider came after me or something like that. Or no, this was before Saber showed up. That's right, it wasn't until after he fell out the window that Saber showed up or something. So he was trying to fight Rider. Rider seems not the best hand-to-hand because she's mostly about riding and casting, weirdly. Okay, and then verse Rider 1, Fall Down Your Mind. Oh boy, command spell hype. That's right, he had to use the command spell to make Saber show up. That was his, what, first command spell usage? And I remember thinking it was a complete waste. Just have Saber come with you. Or something like that, right? I remember thinking at the time that, like, he was rather dumb to even meet Shinji in the first place without Saber. But especially, like, Saber didn't necessarily need to come to the school, but she should have been staying close by in the area to get Saber to save him from the fall of the window. Yeah, I remember that because she was actually chilling at their house or whatever, because that's what she did during the day. She didn't come to the school, which just seems kind of stupid. I feel like she needs to, even if she doesn't go in the school, like they could fake her as another fake student, but she could at least stay in the area, like around the school, so that she can come in if she needs to, instead of needing to use a command spell anytime just for a wasted teleportation. Command spells should be used for better things than teleportations, I feel. Unless it's to run away, and this one wasn't to run away, it was for Saber to come to her. Too busy trying to conserve magical energy by napping all day. Oh, that's true. That's right, she was conserving magical energy because they had a fucked up connection, and they ended up fixing the fucked up connection during the Berserker incident. That is correct. I am now remembering that. So, okay, there's a point to that. Never mind. Still, they could have potentially fixed the magical connection sooner, and Rin knew that, but again, she thought about, oh, you can't do that because it's going to fuck up your magic, and he didn't care, and it also even made his magic stronger, but... I remember thinking it was still kind of a dumb use, though. But maybe it was necessary because she was napping. I suppose that's true. Now that I think about it. At the time, I remember thinking it was a dumb use, but maybe I remember thinking that for a different reason. Maybe I remember thinking it's a dumb use because, you should have suspected Shinji was up to something. Anyways, Shiro's usually dumb, so maybe I'm just trying to put this on him as a dumb act, even if it wasn't the dumbest act. I'm sorry, Shiro. I just automatically assume that if you make an action or choice, it's dumb. Boy meets girl too. Alright, fighting Shinji was fun. Shame he's alive, though. Yeah. Ilya fixes that later on, thankfully. Shiro's dark. I fear for his future. Strategy meeting. He's gonna save the ladies with his penis. But who saves the penis? Yeah, that's right. He is, it seems like Saber is the only person. It was dumb use because it was obvious, even to Shiro, that Shinji was up to something. Okay, yeah, so Saber should have just come with him in the first place. Instead of him trying to do it alone, because he was always like, I can fight without Saber needing to. Was he still on that at that point? Was he still on the whole, Saber's not needed, I can fucking fight servants? Because that was the stupidest fucking thing. But anyways, yeah, this was, I think, when I really started to be like, yeah, Shiro is fucking dark. Post-Shinji fight is when we started to peel Shiro back as a character, yeah. Yeah, because it seems like Rin and Ilya and stuff don't realize how fucked up Shiro is, because they're too busy dealing with their own fucked up shit. Saber seems to have noticed to an extent, probably because they are pretty close, and because they have like a weird connection where they start seeing each other's dreams. So Saber has started to notice how fucked up he is, whereas I think at most Rin has thought he's kind of stupid for some of his choices, but they haven't noticed his fucked upness yet. Okay. Sort of promised victory. Wait, no, where was this? Where did I do it? There, this one. This is where Shiro's dark. Okay, then Shiro needs a sleepy. Memory of 10 years ago portrait. Assault. No music yet. Okay, maybe some. Rin and Ilya just see the facade. They love him because he is the hero of justice to them. Yeah, but that is... Yep, okay, that makes sense. He's not... He comes across as a decent guy. It's not that he comes across as a terrible person. It's just if you peel down and look at his inner thoughts, like we have been because we're the player. So Saber's a smart cookie for catching on to Shiro's shittiness. But, yeah, Rin and Ilya, Ilya especially, freaking Shiro saved her, essentially, from what she thought was, maybe terrible. So she's not going to bother probing, and so unless she sees some obvious signs, and she doesn't see the obvious signs. Ilya's not the best people person anyway. She is great at thinking from a fighting perspective of how to beat someone in a fight, but she's not the best when it comes to social conventions and all that. So she wouldn't be the best at perceiving Shiro's fucked upness. She would just see him as her hero. Rin probably also sees him like that to an extent. Also because of the love. Yeah, there's the crush thing. There's also the, well, now that Archer's out of the war, I need to back up Shiro. He hasn't really fully been the hero to Rin, but I think Rin, despite how dumb Shiro is, she likes the naivety. It's a big contrast. She likes that, oh, you're so stupid for thinking you can do it alone, but I kind of like that you think that it's, I like the aspect of you that is trying to do it. It's stupid to do it, but the notion is nice, and she likes the notion. She respects it and likes him for that, and isn't really digging deeper because she has her own fucked up issues. Saber is a bit fucked up too, but again, they're sort of seeing their own fucked up selves, whereas Shiro is sort of missing the fucked upness from Rin and stuff. Yeah, okay, let's see here. Where were we? Shiro needs a sleepy. No music, yay. Okay, maybe some assault. Oh boy, more fight choices. We will see the... Ironically helps humanizes Rin for herself. That's true. Shiro is sometimes helping without even need to be knowing he's helping. Although, in some cases, you need to know that you're helping, like how Shiro... Like, you need to know to help Saber, you need to know to help Shiro. Maybe you don't need to know to help Rin. I think to an extent, he knew to help Ilya. Maybe he didn't know the full story, he just knew that he didn't want... With Shiro, it was more just, I don't want to fight Ilya. She's a pretty girl. That's right, because Shiro's also kind of a sexist. Girls shouldn't fight or whatever. It's like, she's a pretty girl. She can't be bad guy. I want to waifu her. I don't think he put much more thought into it beyond that. And to be fair, I was psychoanalyzing from a couple different perspectives. My past knowledge also helped me psychoanalyze to start because I knew about the Kiritsugu connection, so I was able to make some inferences when she reacted a weird way and then just walked away instead of killing Shiro initially when he got his regenerative powers. That's when I was like, okay, so there's probably some ust there. Good old Kiritsugu passed down those sexual teaching. Yeah. Will we see the Taiga Dojo? Or will we unfortunately be smart and miss it? That's not how you spell unfortunately. I believe we missed it in this fight. If this is the correct fight. Yeah, because it would have been after this that the Berserker fight in the forest happens. Sort of promised victory. What day are we on? 10th day. Okay. Sort of promised victory. Oh noes, did we kill the horsey? Did we kill the horsey? Did we kill the pretty lady? Pretty messed up lady. Good alignment. Yeah, she seemed like a big bitch who just was fine with killing a bunch of people. She was just liked animals or something. And yet, yeah, she was chaotic good. Weird alignment choices. Right, and that's when I was like, is that anticlimactic? And then Wiseful convinced me it wasn't, because I just kind of knew who Saber was, but that was a big revelation in universe, to be fair. So, especially given that there are multiple pathways, there's probably other pathways where Shinji is a bigger deal, maybe Makiri plays a bigger part, hard to say. This was the first servant that we took out, and it felt like a really good starting. It felt like, this is when I was like, holy shit, this is going to be a really long pathway, but this is a nice starting point. But now I'm starting to doubt it'll be that long, because this is more than halfway to where we are now. And so this is feeling more like a halfway point, if anything, which I thought it was not quite that far, because it was the first servant we took out. I thought these were going to be, we would see all the things happen, instead of Archer just, killing everyone off screen? The more I read this pathway, the more I hate it. Shinji's technically not out of the war. Shinji's technically not out of the war. And Prob's more cynical than you nowadays. Well, I mean, it's hard for me to compare. I have enjoyed the pathway, don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's some things that bug me about it, but I don't have any better pathways, quote unquote, to compare it to. So maybe when I see later ones, I'll be able to go back and yeah, that first one really did suck. Shinji's technically not out of the war if he can stop his book from burning. Oh, was that me making a Zatch Bell reference? Or was it true that he had a book? Oh no, it was true that he had a book. I was making a Zatch Bell reference. I was probably doing two things. Because it's right, he wasn't normal, he didn't have a normal command seal or something. He was connected through a book, if that's correct. Because, that's right, because he was forced into it in a weird way, so he used a book instead. Unless I was just completely making a Zatch Bell reference, and I'm not remembering this correctly. I believe he had some kind of special book that he used as his connection instead of the normal command seals. If my memory's not fooling me. Shiro, be careful. Remains of tragedy. And this is when Shinji died. Don't go calling out into the darkness without your servant. That's right. That's one of those, if you find her, she'll kill you situations. Although, she probably knew he was there and didn't kill him anyways. She was savoring Shiro. Rin, what is up with you? Okay, this was when she wasn't willing to help me as much, or, what was going on with this one, actually? Rin, what is up with you? Load. I'm curious. What's up with Rin in this one? I don't know. Why did I ask that question?
まあ追求するのは勘弁してあげるわ。今のあなたたちはそれどころじゃないものね。
I think this is because she wasn't helping us with the Shinji fight. That's what was being like, Rin, what the fuck? Yeah. Saber's Noble Phantasm, huh? Oh, right. That's right. When we said, I do Saber's Noble Phantasm, she was trying to figure it out. Ryder was defeated, Shinji retired, losing his command spell. But Saber used her Noble Phantasm and collapsed after using it. Okay. Saber's Noble Phantasm. I should avoid revealing her true name. It's not something I can reveal by my judgment alone. Right. You guys are in no condition. I think this is when I was just like, why are you helping me with Shinji? Why are you so casual about Shinji possibly dying? Stuff like that. Yeah, it seemed that's where I was like, wow, that's fucked up. Yeah, okay. Right. So, let's see here. Awakening outside the king's memories. Archer, what the heck? Yeah, I heard your voice, but it was weird. Okay, I think this was the flashback where I was like, are you Merlin or something? Are you the Merlin to King Arthur's? Then why are you an archer, not a caster? Blah, blah, blah. Although then maybe there's the idea that he's like a jack of all trades because we don't know what he is because he was using weird daggers. I don't know what's up with him yet. It's cool that I don't know what's up with him. He's one of my favorite mysteries of the game, I would say, is New Archer. I like it a lot. I've had a lot of theories about him. I'm very excited to see where he goes. Which, in some other pathway, because he's fucking dead now. 11th day, awakening outside. The king's memories. Archer, what the heck? Okay. Morning in the Dark, charming wide-eyed Ilya. Ilya, best crazy killer waifu. Yes, please. Right, this was where she was like, be mine. And I was like, yes. Shiro Ilya, yes. And it was a bad ending, but I didn't mind. The Nod is forever. I gotta pee, though. Einsberg Castle, Heaven's Dress. Let's see here. Fight choice. Refusal and escape, right, okay. And then there's a distant back. This is 11th day. When did 11th start? Right, okay, I see. 10th was a long... No, never mind. 10th was not as long as I thought it was. Okay. Fight choice. The plan goes wrong. Seskase? I don't German. In that ending, Gilgamesh probs just kills everyone in the end. Yeah, maybe. Wait, which one? In this one? No. In this one, Iliasville wins the war and I'm a servant and we live happily ever after. Shut up. Yeah, this is the best ending we've gotten so far because I become her servant and it's great. I love it. It's better than the other one where she tortures me as a head forever. Okay, the plan goes wrong. Qu'est-ce que c'est? I don't German. Oh, that's the joke because qu'est-ce que c'est is not German. It is the French. Anyways, yeah, this was when she caught on to us. Is this after? Yeah, because Archer held off and did a lot of damage. But Archer then died off screen, and I was like, wait, what? Which made Archer the second servant to go down, because the first one was Ryder, and then the second one was Archer. Archer dead? Really? Dragon's Core. Okay, this is around the time of the dragon sex, right? The inner dragon sex that really combined us forever. 6. Yeah, this was the dragon sex. Ruin the Forest, Dragon's Core. I'm dirty. Oh, you bet your bacon I'm dirty. Let's take a look at this. I have to calm down. I try to suppress my fear while acknowledging how hard the transplant of magic circuit and how much loss and pain the process involves. This is just a passing point, the thing I should be scared of in the fight against Berserker after this. But give me the picture, damn it. Okay, let me see her and looking all sexy. There she is. Oh, yes. The love continues. This is where I prepare to put my Shiro dragon penis inside of her. And I give up, and then she eats at my magic, and it hurts like crazy. But I come out stronger because of my love. I can now accurately summarize you. Horny on main. Hold on. I hear of memes a lot, and I never know what they mean. Horny on main? What is that? Urban Dictionary. A slang term for posting or engaging with sexual posts on your main. I don't post that shit on my main social media accounts. I'm just dirty in my Let's Plays. Rather than a secondary one that you'd usually use for that purpose. Unless you count my social media as my Let's Plays. Oh, yeah. This was the dragon sex. This was nice and horny. And painful. But I think this is the turning point where it was like, there was no way Shiro was going to be anything but a saber-sexual after this point. I suddenly forget to breathe. Hubba, hubba. Anyways, we need a song again. Because, we didn't have a song. Hold on. Oh, this is Arthur P. Dragon. Oh, that was a joke. All right. Is this got a song? No, I think it's just sound effects. Yes, the dragon inside of her. Right, because she's Arthur Pendragon, of course. So she's got a dragon inside of her. So why was she called a lion when facing off against Taiga? False advertising. But then I withstood the dragon. I can ride the dragon. Ryder can't ride dragons, but I can indeed ride dragons. Rock the dragon, Dragon Ball, Shiro, yeah! Give me a song. Archer and Berserker, okay. You put up a good fight, Archer. Rin really did summon the best servant, except Berserker cheated. Yeah. I won't forgive them. I'll never forgive them. How could they insult me so? There's Ilya's big ego coming through, where like one of her, that's right, her only unknown factors are archers. She didn't really know who this Archer was, and she doesn't know who old Archer is either. Everyone else I think she basically had a handle on, but she didn't know about the archers. Double Archer whammy. Yeah, and he really fucked up Berserker and killed him a bunch of times. But Berserker's a dirty cheater, so he still won. Right, and then let's see here. 11th day. There's a fight to be fought, so we fight, as Rin would say. And this was where Shiro was like, hey, I'll pay for your stuff. You know, because Rin was like, this costs me a lot to use these jewels, you know. And then Shiro's like, I'll pay for them. And Rin's like, I'll hold you to that. And that was a fun little conversation. Who is best girl? Trick question. It's Ilya. This is when we're choosing between Rin and Saber. That's right. And I remember thinking Power of Love bullshit. Oh, that's right. Where I have this many lives, but I'm going to kill all of those lives in one life because, yeah, that was dumb. Why say he has that many lives if he's just going to lose a bunch of lives at once? I agree. Who is the best girl then? Trick question. It's Ilya. Right. I chose Rin in this instance, if I remember correctly. Because, was it because I wanted to fight the Saber system where I was sure, like, we're totally on Saber, so let's not do Saber. There is that aspect to it. And then there's also the, I think it's because I really wanted to save Rin, or I wanted to see how she was doing after the Archer instance. And I really liked the interaction. And then, let's see here. I think my butt cheeks may need to poop. A replay of the legend. Let's see here. Archer curse, let's go! Archer curse? What was the joke there? I don't remember exactly. But Archer curse, yay. Okay, and then there's Princess Bride joke, only mostly dead. I see, okay. Is it Shiro who's mostly dead or Saber who's mostly dead? Right, and then they Power of Love, and he pulls out Caliburn. And my Caliburn kills you multiple times in one go. So, Berserker was the third servant out of the fight. So, at that point, there would have been 4 left. Me, Lancer, Caster, in my opinion, Shiro and Rin has more chemistry and combos than Saber and Shiro. Yeah, they definitely seem to have the chemistry, but Shiro and Saber have stronger unresolved sexual tension, I would say. Shiro and Rin definitely have strong chemistry, but they aren't necessarily... They're healthy for each other, but they aren't necessarily healthy in getting to the heart of the issue, because I don't think either one really realizes what's up, at least not in this pathway where I seem to be a saber-sexual. I do love Shiro and Rin's chemistry. It's nice, but it needs to go further beyond, because I don't think it's fully healing Rin's problem, as it were. Princess Bride joke, only mostly dead. 12 labors. Let's see here. Do we phantgasm? Right. We were trying... That's right, because he was trying to make himself like an archer, because he practiced archery in the beginning of the game or something like that. I think they said that, and then Archer... So after an archer, he made a bow and arrow, but didn't do much with it, and then he really helped by making the... Caliburn, if I remember correctly. If that's what he was even doing. Did he do that, or am I wrong, and he tried to make a weak sword and was a lame-o, maybe? No, I think he did start making a bow after we lost our archer, which is funny, because he never got any lessons. Or did he get lessons? I don't think he did. He really could have, but he was too focused on getting lessons from the saber because of the saber sexual. And I don't think he trusted Archer fully because Archer was too much of a goody-goody, or maybe Archer reminded him of Kiritsugu to an extent. No, because Kiritsugu acted differently when he was parenting Shiro, so that's not true. Yeah, maybe there was enough of a connection that he's like, you're not my dad, get out of here, Archer. Maybe. Let's see here. And Thus I Pray, Unlimited Blade Works. Hey, that's a title drop. That's like, what, the second anime or whatever? Or there was also a movie. Anyways. It's a dumb choice. I don't like it. Shut up. Okay. Oh, that's right, because I chose the other one. Did have some mentor talks. If you can't beat them in reality, beat them in imagination. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, think about... In other words, do this crazy thing and think ahead. Like, if you can't think you can beat them normally, think how you can beat them and make that so. Imagination. Right, okay. This choice bugged me. Why did it bug me? Let me remember what the choice was. Don't use it. Is that the only option? Right. Why did I say not to use it? Right. I said don't... Right. Is that the option? Only option is when I whip out the Caliburn, I guess. But I said don't use it because... no, wait. I feel like the choice is dumb because they're both saying the same thing. Yeah, I feel like the fight is dumb because they're both saying the same thing. Because the choice is between, do you use your noble phantasm? It says, A, don't use it. Or B, is that the only option? As in, either way, you don't use it. Which is a weird choice. It just feels like a nonsense choice. This is the choice that led to my Taiga Dojo. Yeah, that's right. Okay, and then this led into the 12th day. Awakening in the morning, the king's memories. But what about Best Girl? That's Ilya, by the way. Right, okay. And then breakfast preparation. Rin, you're great. I thought it was weird when you didn't have a wish, but not having a wish means you're not all petty and stuff about losing, and you don't even consider it a loss. Sugoi desu. Yeah, that's right. She's got weird logic, but at least it means she's not, you know, she doesn't get all pouty for losing because she doesn't consider it. Yeah, she's like, I'm still fighting as long as there's a fight to fight, even if I'm not really part of the fight, I'll fucking fight. Is the way her mind seems to work. Yeah, because, you know, she wanted to win with Archer, but because she didn't have a wish, she wasn't too downtrodden. She's just, I'm still fighting. As long as I'm alive, I'm fighting, which is not the healthiest, but it means she doesn't outwardly appear distraught. The best girl enters the picture, and this is when we started hanging out with Ilya. That's cool. Best girl enters the picture. Duh. Saber, Rin, Ilya. Right, and then of course I chose Ilya. That's why I wrote duh. 12th day. Saber, Rin, Ilya. Okay, also, didn't we shoo away Sakura on like day 4 or 5? It's been like a week. Where the fuck is Sakura? Feels like it's been too long, and she's not showing up. Something happened to her off screen, I bet. Maybe if all the servants have been taken out, she was another one of the masters and got axed off screen, and Shiro's an idiot who hasn't looked into it, and that's why he doesn't know. And maybe we never find out in this pathway, so they keep it as a plot twist for a different pathway. Thoughts and theories. Anyways, my PP is agitating me. Training swordsman, Saber still. Yeah, and then Saber and Ilya have a bonding moment, which is cute. Is it sandwich time? Right, the sandwiches. Bonding time, yay! Okay, I like this. Yeah, afternoon, magic lecture permit. Shiro is a special pretty Wolverine, but how... Hold on. Shiro's a special pretty Wolverine, but how pretty is he special? Oh, I didn't have anything else to say there. I choose you, Bulbasaur, magic lecture permit. Dinner, dressing room, peeping incident, caught red-handed. Oh shoot, more naked-ish fan service action. Is there? If there is, I have to see it. Hold on. Is she naked? Do we see it? The bathroom's quiet. Okay, yeah, it's her. Let's see it. Oh, it's... Wait, hold on. It's this one. Head goes wider than the steam. Oh, it's the very next page. That's why. Ho. I already... Okay, I understand. And this is like... this is like the 4th step. Seeing the bath. I would call fuckery on Shiro's power, but him being suicidal while being unable to die, it's a fun dynamic, yeah. Morning, okay, this is the 12th day still, right? But it's at dinner. So, 13th day, the king's memories, more dreams, self-realization, oh boy. Right, this is because Saber was calling out to him that he's a dick, or something like that. Also, self-realization, in what way? We've almost caught up at this point, which is good, because I'm almost out of time. I didn't think it would take me my full 2-ish hours to do this, but actually it's pretty close to perfect timing. I'm going to have to stop kind of soon, but, alright. The breakfast table is the same as always. This was good. I feel like I remembered most of the important bits. Okay, in what way is Shiro self-realizing? Helping someone and saving someone are essentially different. I can't think of a way to reward Saber because I don't know the difference between the two. Yeah, because he's not a hero. He's a douchebaggle that wants to be a douchebag. So he doesn't, helping and saving. He's all about the saving. I mean, he helps people with chores just, to get the mind off the thing or whatever. He comes off as a goody-goody. But, actually, truly saving someone in a true save faction, he doesn't really know how to do. Okay, yeah. Let's see here. Demosa. Okay, Tosaka Sensei's misunderstanding. Wait, what's a misunderstanding? Hold on, let me see here. Load. What's the misunderstanding?
いいけど何よ。
Is this when she doesn't understand how I was able to do the crazy awesome? May I call out to her still meditating? I don't care about that, but I don't want to just sit here doing nothing. She told me not to move for a while. She sees results, but I can still talk. Right, okay, and this is when she doesn't find anything that she should find. She's like, well, what about the X or Y? And there is no X or Y.
セイバーのことなんだ
It's
けど
about
なんて言
Saber.
っ
I
た
don't
らい
know
い
how I
か
should put this, but saying that I realize I haven't thought this through at all. It's not even what can I do for Saber. I even oh, maybe this is a different misunderstanding. Maybe that one happened. Okay. This is when Rin starts, I think, being pro Saber Shiro to an extent. She sort of ships it because she finds it cute. I think Yin and Yang, wishes of nothing. Saber versus right. This is because that's right, because Saber has a wish, and Shiro's like, Saber, that's a dumb wish, and I kind of agree to an extent now that I know the full scope of the wish. Whereas Shiro also has kind of a dumb wish in that Shiro's fully self and is just corporealize yourself so we can sex. Instead of trying to multitask and be like, is there a way you can fulfill your wish and also fulfill mine? Because don't they each get a wish? If I understand the Grail correctly, I could be wrong, but I believe each of them technically get a wish. At least I don't know. I believe they each technically get a wish, and if they do, Saber could get her wish, and Shiro could circumvent that. But he's too simple-minded, I think, to circumvent that. Or he doesn't want to think about using the wish because he thinks it's got too much power, and he doesn't want to. I don't want to think about. Or he's too simple-minded could be it as well. Search for that Grail, right? Because this is when we learn that Saber was always searching and somehow found it through some weird time paradox. How did that work again? She's like, I found it by agreeing that I would be a. That's right, because as she was dying in some. How did that work? She was in a big battle and she lost because she lost her. Someone stole her sword, and also people. She started to lose her confidence because her country started to turn against her. Is that right? After being such a good king. And that's right. So there was a mutiny. Was that what happened? There was a mutiny, and all of her fellows started to kill her, and so she was like the last one alive or something. And in those moments, she's like, Grail, if you make me a servant, I will win a war to make it so you make me a servant. It's some weird time paradox bullshit where she got the Grail because she's destined to get the Grail, but technically hasn't got the Grail yet. So she has to get the Grail in the future to confirm that she's got it in the past. It's weird, and I'm not sure if I like it. I don't know, time paradox stuff like that. It sits weird with me, but I get the idea. I think. I haven't gotten the Grail yet, and I made a wish with something that I will become a servant and I will win the Grail in these wars before I can die. Right, it's kind of weird. And she's gonna use the wish to erase herself from existence, which is not what I understood from Fate Zero. I don't believe she ever said that. In Fate Zero, all she said is she wanted to resurrect her people. She didn't say anything about erasing herself from existence. That's what makes it a stupid wish. That's correct. That's why it's dumb. I don't actually think trying to resurrect your people is necessarily a bad wish. Erasing herself from the timeline is a very bad wish. That's where it becomes stupid. Yes. That's where I start to agree with Shiro of, okay, stop her from doing that. Yeah, okay. That's right, because Shiro and Saber are similar in that they both hate themselves, which is why they can sort of see the badness in the other one because they kind of hate themselves. So Shiro sees the badness and wants to help Saber from erasing herself from existence, and Saber sees Shiro's suicidal tactics. And so because they're kind of similar in that sense, they're not quite similar, I think. Even though Saber wants to erase herself from existence, which is stupid because she did a really good job for a really long time. And if she erases herself from existence, the idea that she thinks it'll be better without her is idiotic. It's probably going to be worse. Being a king is fucking hard. But anyways, so what was I saying? Right, Shiro, they're cracked mirrors. But it's not quite the same because Saber did a really good thing and now wants to erase it because she thinks she's terrible at doing good things. Shiro, I think deep down, is more of a bad boy and doesn't really want to do good things. Or if he wants to kill himself, it's because he knows he's a bad person and just wants to be like, look, I'm a bad person, just get out of the way. Or it's like, I should have never lived the fire, just get out of the way, I don't deserve to be alive. Some mix of those emotions. Right, okay, yeah. And Saber, your wish is dumb. The others not having a wish is better than your self-erasing wish. Yes, very dumb wish. It's a dumb wish. Um, Fight choice, or is it secretly waifu choice? Oh, was this like go with Saber, stay with Ilya? Did I choose to go with Saber? Because I thought, practically speaking, we should go with Saber, especially since we're Saber sexual at this point. But because they seem to be powered up when they're around each other, I wouldn't want them to be weakened by being separated. But I am very curious what would have happened if we saved with Ilya, I think. Although, yeah. Anyways, I believe in Ilya, grumble, grumble. That's right. I was like, I believe in Ilya. I trust that she can help and protect Rin. Yeah, that she's the one. Even though I think Shiro was like, okay, make sure you protect Ilya, Rin. I was thinking the other way around, that Rin's okay, but Ilya's really good. I wanted to go with Ilya, but I grumbled because I thought, practically speaking, it was better to go with Saber. That's right. What? Okay, and then this is where Archer shows up, right? This is when old Archer shows up and fucks the whole thing up, and then Ilya's like, what the fuck? And then Archer, like, does something, and Ilya's like, bleh, and goes brain dead or something, and I think is she still recovering? I don't remember exactly. Let's see here. Meeting 10 years ago. Gilligan's Eye. Right. Let's see here. 10 years ago. Okay, this is 13th day. When did 13th day start? It started here, right after the bath. Okay. Rin, I killed Heracles Tosaka. I mean, no, but okay, sure. Let's see here. Saber, just stay and bang me. Even staying to bang Gilly. That's right. Even staying to bang Gilly would be better than your dingus wish. Ilya's still in bed. Okay. Oh, at least she's not dead. Yeah, Saber. That your wish is really dumb. I agree. Stay and bang one of me. I thought at first Shiro's wish was super selfish and she should have respected Saber's wish. Then I found out how dumb it really was, and I'm like, never mind. Shiro's wish is better. It's selfish, but it's better than her dumb wish. The real Grail was inside the friends we made along the way. Oh, right, yeah. I think there's an idea to an extent that it might be inside of Ilya. I don't know how true that is. I just remember something like that being a thing in Fate Zero. So I don't know if that's also a thing in Fate Stay Night. I hope it's not, because I don't want my best waifu to turn into a cup. But, or if she does, maybe because of how powerful she is, she can survive it. If I remember right, did her mother die to become a cup? Was that right? I don't remember if she died because of that, but I believe she died. Anyways, maybe Ilya's strong enough she can survive it, or maybe she's not actually a cup, because she is best waifu. Whatever happens, I hope she lives it somehow. Let's see here. Yeah, Kirei Shiro, OTFSR? One true father-son relationship? Oh. Makiri has entered the fight, maybe. Oh, why did I think that? What the fuck was happening here that I thought Makiri entered the fight? Oh, that's right. Was it... remind me if this is correct. I believe it's when Castor showed up. Because Castor would have been the fourth servant taken out. And then it would have just been Assassin and Lancer. But when either she showed up... oh, Kirei mentioned an old dude. Is that what it was? I don't remember Kirei mentioning an old dude, but I'll take your word that that's what it was. That there's an old dude who may be... Okay. I might have to reread that part because my memory of that is sketchy, but that seems important. I won't read it right now. I might do that first thing tomorrow before I get back into the thing. Said he was already retired. That sounds like a Makiri, if I had to guess. I will maybe that's because he was like, who is that archer dude? And Kirei's like, well, there is this person, maybe. Is that what it was? I'm gonna have to reread. Of course, Kirei knows exactly who this person is. I wonder if they're in on it together. I might reread some of this bit. Because I don't remember the old dude conversation at all, and it sounds important. Yeah, okay, you're my only star. Right. Yeah, remind me. Was it during the Archer part, when Archer first showed up, old Archer? did Castor say this or Archer say this where they're like, oh, there's no one left, it's just us? I feel like that's when it was said. Remind me if that's true, because then I'm like, yo, what happened to Lancer and Assassin? Just died off screen? That's weird. Remind me if that's a true fact. Okay. Let's see here. We having a talk with Rin? This seems personal. Oh, what was this talk with Rin? Why is it the more recent stuff that my memory is lapsing on? You don't remember? I might have to recheck that then, because I believe that's when it happened. At some point, someone said that. You know what? That doesn't really matter when it was said. I do remember it's been said at this point. Castor said Assassin was dead. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know if they said Lancer was dead, but at some point they're like, this is it. This is all that's left. So I believe it's implied Lancer is dead too. Which is just really weird and abrupt. But, yeah, so, okay, so Castor said Assassin was dead. It seemed like Castor and Assassin were working together, probably, because there was something funky going on at the temple that Castor was setting up. Castor probably used, maybe after she set up her thing, she either sacrificed Assassin, didn't need him anymore, or Archer just killed Assassin. That's possible, too. Here's the quote from Kirei. This seems personal. A magus who knew about the Holy Grail War, but did not become a master. I know one such person, but that is impossible as well. The old Makiri is already retired. Oh, he name-dropped Makiri. I definitely don't remember that. That's important. Okay, so it's a person. It's a person, not a place. We know that for sure. It's a person. So, and if Ilya name-dropped Makiri, then that means Makiri was probably the one involved. So Makiri is definitely involved, but to what extent? Did he just, did he train Shinji? Did he force Shinji into it? Is anyone else his disciple? Is he actually a master that, you know, is pretending to be retired? He's definitely going to be involved, but maybe not in this pathway, because we seem to be saber-sexual versus, versus old Archer at this point. We having a talk with Rin. This seems personal. What's going on with this talk?
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, history. Here's some tea. It must have been cold outside. She says so rather bluntly. Why are you? Let's talk inside. Come in. You seems tired. She takes my arm without asking me and starts to walk. Okay, what is she asking me? Honestly, I appreciate hot tea. It's about an hour to the neighboring town. I walk slowly. My body is freezing cold. Go to Kirei's place. She asked me directly. I see, so Tosaka knew all along. She didn't even stop me, just waited for me to come home, prepare me some tea. Right, I went to him to talk about who might be with Archer. Archer doesn't have a master because of his weird thing, though, right? I made up my mind, and I appreciate Tosaka's thoughtfulness. That must be why. That's something I wanted to ask him. I reply, honestly, not hiding anything. I want to ask you what... That's fine with you, right? Yeah, it wasn't anything too useful. Just confirm the situation. Surprised Saber isn't a complete servant yet. It's like a bad joke. At least complete. Shouldn't have become a servant. I know. Maybe you and Archer could have gotten along. He said the same thing you did. Yeah, because he had the flashback. But he didn't remember his own thing unless that's a lie. Or he remembered it. That's right. No. That's my prediction. That's right. My prediction was that Archer's memory loss was real, but when he saw Saber in that initial prologue when we were still playing as Rin, that's when the memories maybe came flooding back to him, so he froze. And after that, once we started playing as Shiro, my theory is at that point he knew all his memories. We just didn't get to learn them because, you know, we weren't playing as Rin anymore. That's my current ongoing theory. Anyways... yeah, Archer said he regrets it. He doesn't want Saber to experience the same thing. The same thing. The same thing. Okay, there's the theory that Archer already erased himself from existence, and now Saber's trying to do the same thing. And then Archer tried to pass on the title of king to Saber, and now Saber's going to do the same thing and possibly make it even worse? Why would he be worried about Saber? Didn't he hate her? It's true, I think he might have been a knight with some connection. Yeah. Easy when he first fought. Yeah, Saber not recognizing him is interesting too. It suggests that he's not just some knight of the round. It's more likely that he's from an alternate timeline. Like, he either knew Saber from an alternate timeline, or knew of her, but she didn't really know who he was.
そうなの？
Saber was the king,
な
right?
ら国民をすべて
She
把握
can't
してい
have
たわ
known
けで
all
もないし。
people.
そういうこと言い出したらそれこそキリがない。
そうでもないわよ。あいつが
Okay. Interesting. Alright, I think that's enough of this for now. According to legend, there are many knights that got chased out of Camelot. He might have been one of them. His identity because of Saber, that would make sense. Alright. Why did, actually, remind me, why did Shiro go to talk to Kirei in the first place? Was it about Archer? Because how did the old man get brought up? What does it matter about some magus? Because didn't Archer already say he doesn't have a magus? Or was this before Archer said he doesn't have a magus? Let's see here. Date, hurry, go around. Dito deone. Right, date day. Deto deone. Fancy dinner time, apex of the date. Boy meets girl. Boy returns home, parting at the bridge. That was a good date. Learned a lot of new words. Much libo. He was talking about Archer and who could have been connected to him. Okay. Top 10, alright, parting breakups of the century. It worse because not clickbait. I see. So this was where Archer is getting in the way or something. And this is where we're getting pretty close. Pretty new Saber. Right, no, this was before Archer got in the way. This was where they had a great date, and then at the end, Saber's like, look, you're great, but I'm not giving up my witch. And then Shiro's like, no, what the fuck? And had a temper tantrum. Right, I think that's what happened. And now we're closing in on the present. Where despite trying really hard to, make Saber the Saber sexual, and Saber kind of giving in, she's like, no, I cannot go all the way. Pretty new Saber picture. Yeah, okay. And then last boy meets girl. That's a bad frame job. Encounter oldest king. The beginning of the mesh. And then new power outage, who dis? Okay, so now let's load up this one. This is where we are.
本物だというのだろ?
We might just stop now, actually. I'm pretty at the point where we have to stop. So I think I'm pretty caught up. I think that pretty much is what I wanted to do. And I think that's what we did. Yeah, Shiro was like, you're dumb, and Saber was, you're a living corpse. Yeah. Okay. Alright, I will, even though I'm mostly caught up, I'll directly catch up with what was going on just before this in the start of the next stream. This was, this was my plan, is that's what this was going to be, is remind myself what the fuck's going on, and I feel like I succeeded in doing that. I don't know if I'll, catch up complete. Yes, catch up. I don't know if I'll leave this in YouTube or not. I might leave it in as like a 0.5 episode, and it's up to the viewer if they want to watch it or not. Maybe it's good for the viewers too, because this is a fucking long game. So if you're watching this on YouTube, video's over. Next time we continue. If you watch this, I don't know, stop recording. Bye-bye, no outro phrases.